Hello everyone and welcome back to part 9 of the Bull Terrier coloured pencil tutorial. I hope you're all doing really well, and if you've just joined me here, I'll link part 1 down below along with everything else that you need to know, such as the supplies and everything. So let's just get stuck in. Okay, so I'm going to carry on with this sort of like mouth and nose area here. So first things first, I think we need to bring that pink out a little bit more. So I'm going to use the beige red 132 and I'm just going to add some little first strokes with this. Oh, it's like a fly that keeps flying around my head. Just where I've added the white, I don't want to go any further than that just yet. Going to build that up a little bit. Around here. It's really warm today. I've given Paddy a bone from the butcher's, so he's just outside chewing on that for now. I'm going to keep my eye on him though, because he does like to try and eat them, so I always make sure that I'm watching him. But yeah, it's been really hot this past couple of weeks, but we finally had a bit of rain recently, which is actually quite glad for it because the garden was looking bad. So yeah, I think that's a good thing. I might just bring that white out a little bit more. Just gonna get rid of some of these lines. So the Derwent Drawing Chinese white, and I'm just gonna bring that out here a bit, just to make sure I've got all of that area covered. And I might just add a little bit of dark sepia 175 just here where this little patch is, just so I can see where it is and I'm not going to lose it then. There we go. Do more on that afterwards, but yeah, just want to get these areas in first. Just add a little bit of the white around there. Then I'm going to go back to the beige red 132, just carry on bringing that over. Building up that pink. Pretty much just like shading it now because I feel like it's a little bit quicker. And we add the detail in with the darker colour anyway. Just add a little bit more definition to the bottom. Just layer it up. Add a little bit more around here. Around here, just trying to be very careful with where I put it. I don't want to put it in the wrong place. I'm just gonna bring it along the bottom here. That'll do for now, and I'm going to start adding a bit more of the brown ochre 10% from the luminance range, so 832. And I'm just gonna like shade that in as well, because again, I'm going to be adding a few darker colours on top, but just be very, very light and gentle with it. A bit more around here. I'm holding the pencil really far down just to make sure that I'm being very light. It helps have a bit more of a feathery touch. Blend it all together. Okay, that'll do for now. And I'm going to use some of the medium flesh, 131, and I'm just going to start to darken it up a little bit, doing my little first strokes now. Just build it up, really softly though. Definitely need some along the bottom. Just going to blend it towards that edge, just so I've got that bit covered. I've got the door open so you'll be able to hear all the birds and stuff. Just building it up. Add a little bit more here. There we go, and I'm going to start adding a bit more warm grey 1, 270. Just want to bring that down here a little bit more. Just bring that base down so I can start blending the shadows into it as well. I might add a little bit more around here. Blend that into there. Then I'm going to add a bit of the brownish orange from the Pablos and just start to build a bit more depth up into the muzzle. I'm going to do these little like dotty bits. want them to be a little bit more obvious. It's still very soft, so lots and lots of light little strokes just to build that up. Same here. And here. Blending it up, and it all sort of joins up here along this line where we just added the warm grey one. So that's why I've added that, to try and like gradually blend it all together. So I'll just bring that across a little bit more there too. Sort of starts to morph into more of that sort of purpley grey colour, like the cocoa from the Pablos. So I will be blending some of that in afterwards too, but I'm just going to add a bit of this to the bottom of the mouth. Just go around that little hair. Just darken it up. And here where this little like patch is, his lip sort of just comes up a bit like that. So I just want to make sure that's in there. Add a bit of shading underneath. Add a little bit down here. And then just darken up these bits of tab. It's definitely different to any dog that I've ever drawn before. I feel like it's very, not complicated, but it is definitely a bit more challenging than just a standard, like, I don't know, Labrador or something. With all these different like shapes and textures and stuff. A little bit more here. Darken this up a tiny bit more. Right, and then I'm going to go in with a bit of cocoa from the Pablos, and just going to start to bring this shadowy area down a little bit more. Into that pink area there. Just start to build that up a little bit more. darken up this little line here. That's a really light stroke, so I don't want to be too heavy with it. You can start to layer up a little bit darker once you've added the lighter layers. Just want to be very careful with it. I don't want it to look really like badly blended or anything. Bring it up a bit more. A bit more around here. The area in between. Might even add a little bit more warm grey one just to try and blend it together. It's a 270, just pop a bit of that through that middle section. A little bit around there. Just helps to blend that in, and then back to the cocoa. Start to bring that across a bit more. I think we'll probably need some like browns and stuff in, but this is just like a nice like transition colour for this shadowy area. And I'm going to add a bit more around here, bringing that down a bit. Okay. Let's add a little bit more around here. I'm just going to blend it out a little bit. Add a little bit here. Okay, then I think I might add a bit of Nougat 178. Let's get a bit more of a brown tone. Start to build that up. And I might start to blend it through this sort of like browny, sandy area too, just to add a little bit more texture. Just blending it through. just going to take lots and lots of really light little layers to build it up. But we are gradually getting there. Just keep jumping around for different bits, but yeah, I'm just focusing it on like this shadowy area, and then all like the sandy coloured fur. Might add a bit up here. I feel like I need a bit more shape around this area. Making sure I'm doing the right direction. All these little teeny tiny hairs sort of come across like this. And then sort of like start coming in this direction. Just all up here just needs a little bit more fur detail. Might even be tempted to add a little bit more of the brown ochre 10% soon. Yeah, let's do that. Brown ochre 10%, 832. Just going to add a bit more around here. Blend it in. Sorry if you can hear him chewing on his bone. I'm having to just keep the door open so I can keep an eye on him, but hopefully it's not picking it up too much. Just keeps him busy. Then back to the Nougat 178, I'm just going to build that up a little bit more. just have to be so light-handed with all these teeny tiny little strokes. Definitely need to do some here. Let's do a bit more here for an extra bit of shape. A bit more here. Some round here. Right, we're definitely getting there. I feel like maybe a bit more here. I always knew that this bit would be quite like time consuming to get right. Especially because I've not drawn something quite like this before. Okay, I might add a little bit more brownish orange. Just start to darken up these bits a little bit more. Just applying the tiniest bit more pressure. A little bit more shape in these little dots around here. Darken it up. Darken up this bit. That's starting to look better. Add a little bit more of this up here. And a bit more here. and darken it up a bit here. I think I'm going to need a bit of burnt umber. Yeah, let's do it. Let's add burnt umber to 80 and let's start to darken up these little bits even more. Blend it up here a little bit. Might even add a little bit at the top here. Darken up this bit a bit more. Around here. A few more little bits close to the nose. Maybe some around here. Add a bit more depth into the beigey areas. Maybe a little bit up here. It's all very subtle changes, but it all adds up to make such a difference. You've just got to persevere. Might just add a little bit more down here. Okay, I feel like we need something more in between those two bits, maybe a little bit more cocoa. Just feel like it needs a bit more shadow. It's a bit better. Bit more up here. more down here. And I might add a bit more up here. Maybe a tiny bit more warm grey one, 270. Then back to the cocoa. I might even need like a bit of warm grey too or something. I'll just try that for now. Add a little bit more up here. And I'm going to add a little bit more warm, and I'm going to add a little bit more cold grey too. Just blend a bit of that down there. Oh my gosh, that fly nearly just flew straight in my ear. That scared me. And I'm going to add a little bit more dark grey from the Pablos. I just want to get a little bit more texture around here. A little bit more here. More here. Go, that's definitely looking better. A bit more here. And I'm going to add a bit more burnt umber, 280. Noticed around here it's not quite as dark as I'd like it to be. So many flies around here because we live like on a farm. Oh, they're just everywhere. I feel like as soon as I open the door there's just like a swarm of flies that come in the house. It's horrible. Try and bring it together a little bit more. Maybe a bit more Nougat 178 just to blend it out. Right, I'm just going to do this little bit here, so I'm just going to add a tiny bit of the Derwent Drawing Chinese White. Let's bring that up here. Just there to the edge of the mouth. Do this last little bit here. And then I'm going to use the Beige Red 132. Just start to bring that over that area. Bring that up there. Then I'll use the Medium Flesh 131. Bring that line up a little bit there. And just bring that under there. And up here a little bit. Blend that in. Might add a little bit more of the Beige Red 132. Bring it up here a little bit. It's very subtle because it's on top of that white. It doesn't really go too pigmented. It does help out a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to use the brownish orange from the Pablos and just start to darken that up a little bit. Bring that up a bit more. And blend up a little bit here. There we go, that's starting to look more like him. Just going to add a few little bits up here. Oh, it looks like he's smiling now. Blend it up a tad. So I want a little bit more texture. Right, and then I'm going to add some Warm Grey 1 270 just over that little bit there. Just for a little base colour. Then I'm going to add the Cocoa just for that transition colour. And then some Dark Sepia 175. Just darken that up a little bit. So I'm just doing like some shorter and some longer strokes so it doesn't look too perfect. Just do a bit more of a defined line at the bottom. Then back to the burnt umber 280. Just want to darken up this little bit underneath that lip just to push it back a little bit. Just going to add a bit of shading. Just darken it up. I might add a little bit more of a defined line to the bottom of the mouth with that burnt umber. Just blend up from that bottom edge. That's looking better. Makes those little white hairs stand out a bit more too. Just going to add a bit more of a line there. And just darken up this bit here. And maybe a bit more there. I feel like I need a bit more of like a defined edge. That white bit of the nose, I don't feel like you can see the shape of it properly, and I feel like it doesn't quite look like his nose. So I need to add a bit of a line to that edge. So let's try the Nougat 178 so it's not too strong, and just do a little bit of a line. I might just bring that shading out a tiny bit. A bit more to the edge of the nose. I feel like that looks better. I don't know if it needs more of like a cold grey colour actually to match that colour there. Let's try it. Let's do a bit of cold grey 1. 230. And I'm just gonna redo that. I think it does need to be more of like a cool colour. So let's shade it in a little bit. It's a little bit better. Maybe needs a bit more. Let's try some cold grey 2. 231. Just want to add a bit more shading. Just to bring it in a little bit. Soften it up. Make it stand out just that little bit more. A bit better. Maybe a little bit of Nougat again, 178, just on that very bottom bit of the nose. That's a bit better. And I'm just going to do, there's like a little hair there, and a little hair there. Okay, that definitely looks better. We could play around with that again later on. Might even be tempted to just add a little bit of Cocoa. just a tiny bit. Don't want anything too crazy, I might add a little bit more here. And definitely need to start adding a bit more texture through this white area, so let's try some warm grey 2. I feel like warm grey 1 wasn't quite enough and cocoa might be a bit too dark, so go for something in the middle. So 271. Just going to start adding some little strokes with this. Just acts as like a bit of a transition colour. Probably will need some cocoa. A little bit of this through here. Okay. And then that cocoa should go on just a little bit easier, so I'm going to start adding some little bits of that through here. Just really lightly. And even add a few little bits here. Building up a little bit more texture. A little bit here. Building up the texture. Add a little bit more up here. And I'm going to add a little bit of dark sepia, 175. Just feel like I need to darken it up the teeny tiniest bit. Really lightly. A little bit in here. Bring it all the way down. I'm going to add a bit in these little dotty bits. Add a little bit more here. Add a bit more just to the bottom of that orange area. A little bit there. And I might just add a little bit of black 199 just over that little patch. There we go, that's a bit better. And I'm going to use the slice tool and just pick out some more little hairs. Yeah, I've actually just sort of naturally left a bit of a gap for them in places, but I did plan on using the slice tool. And I might just use the burnt umber 280 just to like go around them a little bit on the right hand side, just make them stand out a little bit more. Maybe a bit at both sides. Build it up a little bit more. And I'm just going to use a bit of that brownish orange just to add some more little whiskers at the bottom. So just little ones coming off. Trying to be quite light. Feel free to just soften them up with the eraser a bit. Then back to the burnt umber 280. I'm just going to darken them up at the root a little bit. There we go. A little bit more around here. Maybe a little bit more cocoa. I might just add a few little light hairs just through that dark bit. Okay, right, I think I might leave it there for that part. I'm going to extend that one down a bit. I feel like it's looking really good. I feel like it might have been a bit shorter than usual, but I'm hoping this next section will do in like quite a big video. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me again. Make sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to see more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one. So bye for now.